Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck and this is Green Beans. And I will tell you this cultivator or disc harrow that we've got attached right here has saved our bacon. As you can see, we now have $21,000. At the end of the last episode, I was doing a cultivation contract, that got us, I think, about $10,000. I went ahead and did 3 more of those in the previous month. And then there were no more cultivation contracts available. So then I went ahead and slept until November, and then we're back here trying to finish cultivation on our field number 6. So we kind of stopped in the middle of cultivating or disking this field. Let me turn on the rest of the light so you can see better. Sorry about that. But ultimately it didn't matter. We're not in a hurry. We're not going to be able to plant again until next year. I was hoping that there would be more cultivation contracts if we skipped ahead a month so we can get a little bit ahead, because it did take all of the profits we made from our green beans to buy this disker, but we're getting to make extra money on it. So obviously that contract money has helped. And let me just show you. Oops, that's the sales. Nothing really in the sales for us. This is the map I wanted. In contracts this year, or this month, we've got bale wrapping, fertilizing, harvesting, spraying. We don't have the equipment for pretty much any of these. So we're back to just taking care of our field. And again, our field is big, but not huge. So this shouldn't take me but, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, maybe, maybe 7. And now that we've gotten, I need to do one more east-west strip on the north side of the field here, and then I can start showing you what I was doing on the other fields. I want to obviously be a little bit more careful on our field, because if I miss a spot, the computer's not going to fix it automatically like it does with those contracts. Essentially, once you accept the contracts, their fields snap to 100% completion and perfect cultivation or harvesting or spraying or whatever it may be, covering all the little bits that we may have missed. So all we have to do is get it to 100% on their scale, which is a lot easier than what we're doing over here. So, but on ours, if we don't get it perfect, it's gonna stay not perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these couple of rows while I just kind of talk about what's next. So some of you have been wondering, where am I sleeping to skip to the next day? Because we did farm manager, and there's no farmhouse on here. And I looked at the farmhouses. The cheapest farmhouse we can place, I think, is $44,000 or $45,000 or something like that. It's not terribly cheap. So we can't afford that. Eventually there will be mods, like on Farm Sim 22. I had that mod that just put a park bench for $1,000, and then you could just sleep on the bench. Or there's some mods that eventually give you a doormat, and you could just use like this little shed that we have on the south corner of Field 6 that we're not using for anything. We just put a doormat in front of it and make that our house and sleep there. And there's, I've had series before where we, all right, so I'm going to basically just lift it up, come over here, put it back down, and just kind of do a little, what do you call that? Leapfrog? Yeah, leapfrog, some rows. And now that we've done essentially 2 headlands around, we have enough room to turn around. In fact, you don't even have to lift it, to be honest, because we're cultivating at 18 miles an hour, which is really nice. So if I just leapfrog from here and just do a full turn radius, usually that's about 2 strips with the cultivator. And so this is the way I was able to do some of those other fields, is I would essentially do this one, and then I'll loop back over and get the next strip over there. Anyway, so you're asking, where am I sleeping? So the cool thing that I've discovered in Farm Sim 25 is, although we didn't do New Farm and we didn't do the base farm, the base farm still exists. And you can see kind of on our little mini map, fields 3, 4, and 5, just to the north of here. Oops, I went a little wide, but it's all right. We'll get this, and then we'll come down on that other strip. the farmhouse is still there on 3, 4, and 5. Let me see if I can make the map bigger. So yeah, we're down here on 6 and 7, but 3, 4, and 5 I guess are to the west of us. And you can see some of those icons. Those yellow boxes near field number 1 are the NPCs that you can talk to. And they are standing right in front of the farmhouse, and the sleep trigger is still there. So essentially, what was his name? Walter, I think? Oh, am I wide enough for this? I'm going to miss it by just a hair. I didn't go wide enough there. Okay, well, this is the problem with doing this. Sometimes you get your angles off, and now I got to run another strip up to get that last little bit there. But I'd rather overlap on the right-hand side and make sure I don't have to do it 3 times. Let me get my map up just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And that's got to load. That is one thing I've noticed. The map does take a second to load the changes that you've done. So you'll pull it up to see, have you fertilized everything, and it'll be a little bit behind. So yeah, I can see I missed this section. I missed a little section right over there, which I'll have to go back and get. So again, you could be real careful and do your 3-point turn on the end of every row, or you can just kind of do it quick like I'm doing, which feels a little bit better, I think, because the sun's coming up. I'm going to just go down to headlights. I do like the lighting effects in this game. Sorry, I'm all over the place in this video, but wanted to just show you the quick cultivation of our field. There's really going to be nothing for us to do till we can plant again. So after we're done with this, if there's nothing in the sales and no contracts for us to do, we're going to just have to sleep. And let's see, what month do you plant green beans in? Check my row. Green beans can plant in April, May, or June. So essentially we'll have to come back and I'll get that strip in a minute because we're probably going to miss some more. We'll go 2 links and try to do a little bit better this time. So we're in November now. We're going to basically skip several months and see if there's anything that comes up in the deals that's worth buying, because we're going to need some sort of planter. We were going to just rent one, but if a good one comes up in the deals, we would probably go ahead and just, that's cool that the cultivation gets rid of the tire tracks, which totally makes sense. If you disc over your tire tracks, that's why, even though I'm leaving tire tracks by pulling it, you don't see me behind it because I'm cultivating right behind it. Oh, and that was not very good. Well, this is not how I would cultivate a field, folks. I'm talking, and it's distracting me, and I think I did that one not quite wide enough. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little loop. So it's kind of like a snake. You kind of go to one side and then back to the other side. Oh, and look, it's raining. It's starting to rain. But if you kind of snake your way back and forth through the field, you're saving time on the turns. So when I'm doing the contracts, this is kind of what I do, because it's good enough and it gets it there. Obviously, this is causing a little bit of duplicate work this time around, but I digress. We're going to look for a couple of good deals on equipment that we might need for this farm, and then really, because there's nothing else for us to do until we get more green beans in the ground, we're going to have to just fast forward until April, it sounds like. But maybe we'll get something in the deals, or we'll watch for cultivation contracts as those come up, and maybe we'll run a couple of more of those and see if we can get, you know, over $30,000 or $40,000 before the next season starts. Can I get it? There we go. We'll get that. But then our field will pretty much be ready to plant in April, and then we'll obviously need some way to fertilize it and weed it and do all the things. So I don't know. I was thinking about what else can we do before we get the cannery. Is there an animal that we could do? We do have some grass on the edges of our field we could mow, but I don't think that that's really going to be worth it. Like, by the time we bought the mowers, or if we rented the mowers, we wouldn't make that money back. So I think we're about done. Yep. Let me zip over and get this little piece here, and then we got 2 spots to clean up. But again, yeah, 6 minutes maybe. So it doesn't take that long. I like this. I like doing things at 17, 18 miles an hour. It just feels fast compared to like plowing 5 or 6 miles an hour, or some of the other jobs that are a little slower. Harvesting, I think, is usually around 10 miles an hour. Right, so there's going to be just this little spot down here, and then 2 spots up there. And that'll be good enough for this. You shouldn't really disc in the rain either. But we were almost done when it started raining, and our field's going to sit for months on end, so it'll dry out. And we can fix any of those spots that we need to on the back end. Alright, so we're going to lift that up, fold it, and we'll go ahead and park this in our little shed up here. So we've got our tipper there. I ended up parking, as you can see, the harvester on the south side of the building and the tipper on the north side of the building. Can we get this to back up correctly? Sorry about the tree. I hate when it's tree view. Yep, we're gonna get it in there. Alright. Too close. Now we've got it caught on our flatbed. And hit a tree. Alright. We're rocking this. Showing you my mad, destructive farming skills. There we go. This is going to stick out a little bit, but that's okay. So anyway, there's all our implements. There's our front loader too. And our seeds are ready for when we do rent that planter, or if we find one in the sales, we'll buy one. But with 21,000, we at least have enough to start. So right across the street here is where that starter farm is. I was telling you about. We're just going to loop over here to the farmhouse, and we'll go ahead and sleep for the next month. And if we don't see anything there, I'll probably just cut the video and I'll fast forward all the way till April. But we'll check the deals, we'll check the cultivation contracts. We'll see what else we can come up with before we're ready to plant the green beans. So yeah, here is the farmhouse. And that's where you would change your wardrobe, and here is where you can sleep. Yeah, let's do 8 o'clock. And it does show you the stars. It's cool if a storm blows through something, you do actually see clouds or some of the weather effects come through on the sleep screen, which I can't remember if they did that in 22 or not. I don't think they did. All right, so we've got $416 in low interest and $64 in property maintenance. So we're now under $21,000. We'll check the deals. A new tractor, interesting, but less horsepower than the one we got. And let's check the contracts. Dead wood, rock removal, and wood transport. Nope, it's December. It looks like it's even snowing a little bit. So while I'm going to cut the video there, we'll go ahead and get to April, and we'll start year 2. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.